Welcome Minneapolis junior, senior, high school fans to Lion Gymnasium here as we are at Class 3A SubState volleyball action on October 26, 2013. As Minneapolis is privileged to host SubState action here tonight. This is the third time since 2001 that we've had the privilege of hosting SubState, Mike, and it's good to see action back here again in Minneapolis on our new floor in Minneapolis Gym.
Always a loud house when all these teams come in here, but reminiscing back in 2001, we had to take out the Smith Center Red Women, Lady Red, and what a game it was for our Lady Lions to move on to state that year. And then 2003, I believe.
2006. We took out Madridge, a very highly talented Madridge team, to move on to state in Class 2A.
Jordan Crossan, and first person comes to mind anyway. There's been some big final matches here at SubState. Minneapolis a part of them every year when we've had SubState here, and Dale reminded Coach McCulloch that that trend should continue here tonight. But they will have a tough road ahead of them. I caught the end of the Marysville match. They are very talented, very tall, and they play very well together on the floor. And when you've got 6'1", 6 foot up front, and you can toss it outside, and there's another 5'11" hitter out there, you have got quite an attack, and they do. I didn't get a chance to see Rock Creek play, but they're the #1 seed. Looking down the lineup, 2 6-foot girls on that team. So when you can block like that and hit from the outside and hit it straight down, I'm sure there are 4 or 5 Beloit girls that would attest to the hitting ability of Marysville. I saw 4 girls get a facial, and it was very hard hit ball, so they can bring it. But it's always fun, SubState here at Minneapolis. It's loud and it's fun this time of year.
8 teams here in SubState. #1 seed Rock Creek out of St. George. #2 seed Marysville. Rock Creek's 27-11, Marysville 28-12, so about a half game lead for Rock Creek St. George there. 3rd seed was Ellsworth, who Minneapolis is getting ready to play at 24-12. 4th seed Riley County, 25-14. They lost to Sacred Heart, the #5 seed, who was 19-17. The 6th seed is Minneapolis, coming in with a season record of 12-19. 7th seed is Beloit, 10-23. They lost to Marysville in 2. And the 8th seed, St. Mary's, at 6-29. They lost to Rock Creek in 2, I'm sure, in the first match. So I have not looked at rankings, but I bet there's probably 2 to 3 top 5, top 7 rated teams here today in Class 3A. It's be a tough row to hoe for the Lions here if we get the championship game, #1, #2 to win it. If they do, that'll be one of the most fantastic finishes of all time in MHS sports, in my estimation. Anyway, the task at hand tonight, we're playing the Ellsworth Bearcats, who again are 4 seed, 3 seed at 24-12 in the NCAA. They're 7-5. Minneapolis coming in at 12-19. We tied with Ellsworth in NCAA at 7-5. But we beat them here in Minneapolis back on October 1. The first match, 11-25, 25-13, and 25-14. And the second match, 25-13, 25-23. Don't know if this was the complete Ellsworth team here, if they had anybody sick, whatever. They've got a pretty good record, and I've kind of looked at their schedule a little bit. They beat some good teams, so maybe we just had their number that night. I don't know. But probably will not be an easy task, especially as long as they've got a girl named Conley out there playing, and she's a pretty good-sized girl herself. She's not 6'1" or anything, but what do they got her listed at these days? Conley.
5'10", I believe.
5'9" officially. Senior. four seniors on the squad. Just quite a very good athlete for the Lady Bearcats. Read some public service announcements. This is being broadcast via the Kansas State High School Activity Association on Eagle Channel 20 and on SalinaPost.com. Imagine you debating or marching before hundreds of people. Kansas State High School students have been debating and performing spectacular marching halftime since school started. You're invited to support the fall activity programs of your school. Attend a game, volunteer to judge debate, and enjoy a music program. The public service message from the Kansas State High School Activity Association and Eagle Communications, SalinaPost.com. Also, ask any sports enthusiast what fall means in Kansas, and they'll tell you. Football, cross country, volleyball, soccer, and much more. The best in entertainment, sportsmanship, and community involvement will unfold during the next few months. Activities give fans the opportunity to show how much pride they have in our youth, and to talk about their accomplishments. Support your school's student body, faculty, and administration. It's been a public service message from the Kansas State High School Activity Association and Eagle Communications, KINA, SalinaPost.com. All right, Mike. Lady Lions, let's get back and talk about them for a few minutes. They're 12 and 19. Probably not the most satisfying season in the world, but they played a darn tough schedule, as they do every year in some of their tournaments. And against Sacred Heart, they've knocked off Riley County here tonight. Ellsworth.
Well, Riley County pretty much had Sacred Heart's number, and Sacred Heart had to rally to come back and win that in 3, but it was a good match, pretty evenly matched, and you would expect that with a 4 and 5 seed. Minneapolis's record, I think, is very deceiving, Dale. I think they played a lot better at the end of the year. They're well seasoned coming out of that Hillsboro tournament, and if my information is correct, and I'm sure it is, Coach McCulloch was very, very pleased with what she saw with the girls play down at Hillsboro. She was expecting that at the first of the year, and it's finally coming around. Maybe the girls are gelling, playing a lot better right now. So you never know what's going to happen. Girls play well together. It doesn't matter how tall you are.
That's right.
And we proved that when Lindsay went through and went to state, took 3rd place, and I don't think they had anyone over 5'7". So, you know, if you cover the floor and your quickness and serving is excellent that night, you always have a chance to win in high school volleyball. And the momentum thing is part of it, Dale. The girls get the swings, but you play consistently all night long, and you've got a chance to win any time here in high school volleyball.
It's all about teamwork as much as anything.
Yes, sir.
In volleyball, getting the passes right and getting the ball at the right location to get it over the net. Good serving. Boy, those you can't preach enough. Good serves.
Well, Heather McDonald was her big center. She was 5'9", 5'10". She moved to Abilene, and Lindsay, the 7th person, came in off the bench, played middle at 5'5", and they went to state with a 5'5" middle. So, you know, you cover, like I say, you cover the floor, and you serve well, play good defense. You always have a chance to win high school volleyball.
So 2 teams that know each other well going to play this evening. They've tied in NCAA. Minneapolis was fortunate enough to beat Ellsworth in the match here at home back on October 1. Let's hope that the Lady Lions can do that again this evening to move on to play the Marysville Lady Bulldogs in the semifinal action.
And Dale, you're exactly right. When that Conley girl's on the floor, it doesn't matter whether it's basketball or volleyball. She's just athletic enough to carry a team, and she is very good up front. She hits from behind the 10-foot line, and I expect a pretty good match here. Minneapolis kind of got by them during the course of the season, but like you say, you'd mentioned Ellsworth has beaten some very, very good volleyball teams, so I look for a pretty tough match right here coming up.
It will be no easy task by any shade of the imagination. Nice crowd on hand here. Kind of difficult to find a parking spot. I did the smart thing, got the equipment set up prior to anything starting, so I didn't have to mess with that this afternoon. stayed home to watch the first half of the K-State West Virginia game. Unfortunately, K-State's down 9-6 at half. Coach Snyder will get that turned around.
You're supporting the purple. I knew you were there, and they had it on the tube inside there for a little bit. Then they switched to the Oklahoma game. I was a little bit chapped. But K-State with a tough matchup with West Virginia down in Manhattan. They will introduce all the non-players here, so it'll take a minute before we get to the starters. And Dwayne's going to come out with the same spiel you did.
Please support the players, coaches, referees, and fellow fans with respect and positive reinforcement, and do your part by being a good sport. And now for the fourth quarter final matchup.
One thing for sure, Dale, that Ellsworth team, that coach has had that group for probably 6-7 years now, and they have shown improvement every year. They're just coming together as a team over there at Ellsworth. They're just a lot better volleyball they were for quite a while. For Minneapolis, Nicole Forte. Mackenzie Allison and Maddie Small. Those are the non-players. Now the starters, or excuse me, the non-players for Ellsworth are being introduced. Number 3 is Rohr, number 7 is Weinhold, and number 8 is Barr. Number 11 is Cheyenne Helibus. Number 15, Jessica Lake. Now the starters. Dwayne's getting it punched up on the laptop. There we go. For Minneapolis, Kay Allison. For Ellsworth, number 4, Ella Koalak. For Minneapolis, number 12, Deidre Lott. She's a hitter from the outside. They get her set right. She can bust it through there. Now Ellsworth, number 6, is Taylor Rodriguez. For Minneapolis, the other outside hitter, Kylie McKinney. For Ellsworth, number 14, Shannon Keith. She's a junior at 5'6". For Minneapolis, Sydney Weedle, the setter, primary setter. Cindy Allison will set quite a bit also in the rotation. For Ellsworth, their setter. She doesn't look like much of a volleyball player, but let me tell you, she can set the ball, and she's very efficient on the floor, very quick-footed. For Minneapolis, Kennedy Allison, and Ellsworth, number 19, Amy Westerman. In the middle, for Minneapolis, J.C. Owens, and for Ellsworth, the team, Allie Conley. She's good, very athletic. And Minneapolis, the libero, Mara Pound. And libero for Ellsworth, number 5, Kaylee Landon. She's a senior. And we're about ready to go.
Coach Julie McCulloch, Val Blakeman, and
Mrs. Frazier.
Mrs. Frazier, assistant coaches.
Brenda.
Brenda.
That wasn't coming to me either, but
you had more come to you than I did.
I did the dance with her down on the floor. I went left, she went right. I went right, she went left, and so we finally got around each other down on the baseline.
Coaches for Ellsworth are head coach Amy Johnson, assistants Susan Keith and Janelle Robson.
This is going to be good, and if you're listening to this via the cable TV, there's room for about 15, 20 more excited Minneapolis volleyball fans. Don't see any reason in the world why this wouldn't go 3. These two teams are so evenly matched. I just hope both teams play well, and it's one of those Donnybrook. I think that's what you call them in the day. Well, Minneapolis will earn it, guaranteed for sure. If they win this match here against Ellsworth, they get the Marysville Bulldogs next round. I'm here to tell you, those girls are tall, and they are very athletic at the net.
Ellsworth will serve.
Will serve first. Landon. And we're underway here. Mara with the set. Jadra Lott tips it on over. And there's an attack by Ellsworth. They just bump it over. Now Lott again tips it. And it's saved by their setter. Went clear out of bounds, but save that. What a play. Now J.C. Owens with a nice attack in the middle. Landon leans back and pounds it down in the middle. Kind of a lazy hit, but it's in. Point Ellsworth. Landon still at the service line. Allison, the set goes right to J.C. Owens. She bumps it on over. Now Conley again. It's out. Conley with a big attack there, but it's out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. Sydney Weedle at the service line. Nice serve. The top spin had it going down. Conley pounds it through the block and drops on our side. Point Ellsworth. 2-1 Lady Cats. Ella Korolak at the line. And a nice serve it is. Nice dig on the back row by Allison. Jadra Lott's attack up front goes wide and out of bounds. 3-1 Ellsworth. Probably be the last time I give the score. I keep forgetting to do that as I go through the afternoon, Dale, so you're going to have to help me with that score if you would. Nice dig by Mara Pounds. Now Allison with a slam. It's blocked by Conley. Kennedy Allison with a nice attack at the net. It hits the floor on our side as Conley was there to block.
Puts the Lady Bearcats up 4-1.
Korolak still serving for Ellsworth. In the net it goes. Service error.
Pounds comes out. Shay Allison comes in.
Dwayne Weedle with the play-by-play here in-house. J.C. Owens with the serve. Crawls up the arm of Conley. She's got a nice swing from the outside and a very good dig by Kylie McKinney on the back row. Now Ellsworth back on the offense. It's Owens' turn with the defensive efforts on the back row. Landon, bump set. Woo! That's what you don't want. A nice easy set. Conley right in the middle with a big swing. Pounds it down to the floor right at the feet of our back row, and it's side out and point 2. Ellsworth.
5 to serve 2.
Roar at the service line for the Lady Cats. Back set by Allison. Oh, Jadra Lott.
Right. It in on the side.
Right across. And it's in. Point Minneapolis. And Jadra Lott heads to the service line. Jadra jump serve. Way out the back. Adrenaline flowing fairly high. I know the girls were anxious to get going here this afternoon. Had to wait through 2 matches to get this one underway.
6 serving 3.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And Conley bumps it out of bounds. So it'll be Minneapolis serving 4 to serve 6.
3 matches. We're at the 4 match, so they had to wait most of the day. Nice serve there by Allison. It's going out the back. Landon tracks it down. Now Conley bumps it back on over as they rescue it. Now the outside, Kylie McKinney finds an opening in the back line and pounds it down. Point Minneapolis. Kennedy Allison to the service line. I think we're the visitors, aren't we, Dale?
Yes, as the lower seed we would be. The Lions tie it up, 6-all. Mini rally here.
Kennedy Allison serving. Nice serve there. Their back row's having a difficult time. Conley tracks that down. They rescue it, and it goes on over, and it hits the cable. And that's out.
Oh, unfortunate. We take the lead, 7-6.
The old cable. It will come into play more than once here today. I noticed Marysville found out about it. And Rock Creek did also. And you can just about bet which side Rose Whitman took when she was playing, when her team was playing. They were on the opposite side of the cable. Oh, what a shot
block by Shay Allison.
Shay Allison with the stuff kill. She just drilled it right back into the face of the Ellsworth defender, Point Minneapolis.
8 serving 6 now.
Big block. Pass by Landon was headed out of bounds. Conley sets it on over. Now Kennedy rushes to front for the set. Her pass is almost in the net. Landon just bumps it on over. Now Shay Allison again. It's out. She had a pretty good setup right there, and Shay just hit it a little bit wide. Mitchell, the 5'1" junior setter, comes in to serve. She's got a good serve. Now Shay Allison bumps it over. Ellsworth on the attack here. That's a net shot. Net drops on our side. Shannon Keith with a big swing.
Ellsworth ties it back up at 8.
Drops right in the middle.
And will serve.
Nice dig on the back row so far. Our passes from the back row have been money. Talking about money, Kylie McKinney from the outside pounds one down, Point Minneapolis, and side out back to Minneapolis. And you've seen enough volleyball to know, Dale, if that first pass from the back row is off target.
Out. Puts the Lions up 10-8.
If it's off target, it just makes it difficult to deal and get the attack underway. Pounds. Another nice serve. Mitchell tracks it down over in the corner. That's going in the net. That's 4. Excuse me, as Korlak went over and got that out of bounds. Timeout, Ellsworth. Minneapolis with a mini run here. And we'll take a quick 1-minute timeout. Be back in just a minute.
Leading by a score of 11-8.
Choose your beautiful new countertop, granite or quartz, from the large selection of slabs of granite and quartz in stock in the Creative Surfaces showroom. Your new countertop is cut from the actual slab of granite and quartz you select. Creative Surfaces is a proud supporter of Minneapolis Lions.
See the guys at Autotech for all your automotive repair needs. Quality automotive care from alignments to transmissions and everything in between. Proud supporters of the Minneapolis Lions. Visit Straub International today. Your Case IH, Great Plains, Mahindra, and Polaris dealer with 7 locations. Straub International, helping Kansas grow.
My middle daughter came up from Oklahoma with her husband, my grandson. We got to watch Kendall run down at Southeastern. I've got a story about Mr. Garrett Doherty I'll tell later on if we get a minute. We're back in action here. Kylie McKinney with a big hit. It's rescued on the back by Conley for Ellsworth. And we dig on the back row, but our pass goes out of bounds. Point and side out to Ellsworth.
9 to serve 11.
My son-in-law is one of the merchandisers for Love Country Stores corporate office down in Oklahoma City.
Oh.
There's 3 of them, and they buy for all over the country, so he's a busy guy. But he does work in the corporate office. There's a nice touch by Minneapolis. It was touched by Ellsworth, went out of bounds. Oh, no, I don't think that's a very good call.
I think you're saying that Owens must have been over the line. I don't know. It
I see.
didn't look like it to me. But 10 to serve 11.
I thought they blocked it or touched it last. Oh, that's trouble. That's an overpass. And it came over, and Ellsworth right there to take care of business.
Ties at 11.
It's a good serve now, the set by Weedle. Owens from the outside, it's in. The other thing that gets you in the winner's circle is timely point, and there's one right there. Minneapolis breaks the serve of Ellsworth and goes up by a point, 12-11. Kylie McKinney, in the net it goes. And that's one thing you don't want, service errors. As I mentioned, if you can serve fairly cleanly all day long, you'll play all day long. Landon at the service line for Ellsworth. Mara Pounds with a nice dig. Jadra Lott comes to the net with authority. Conley right there for the block. Drops on our side. Point, Lady Bearcats.
12 to serve 13.
Mara Pounds with a good pass. Weedle with a set in the middle. J.C. Owens. It's blocked again by Conley. Making herself visible up front at the net. And it's a good net play by Ellsworth.
Oh, it's 14 service.
Yeah,
we are the visitors.
Yeah, we are. That's why I mentioned that earlier, because I was going to have a hard time with that.
I didn't catch up with that one.
Jadra Lott. Nice hit. And that's what you got to do. You got to go to one of your big hitters, get that side out service break, and that's exactly what Minneapolis did. Jadra with a nice attack. Good serve by Sydney. Landon will have to attack from behind the 10-foot line. And Allison rescues it and bumps it on over. We're in trouble. Landon gets that right in the middle.
Conley knocks it down. They take a 15-13 lead. So if you're viewing this on the television screen on a replay, the home side here is Ellsworth. They're up 15-13.
Korolak at the service line. Nice serve. Nice set by Weedle. Allison, it's tipped at the net. She pounds it right through the block. And there's another timely point by Minneapolis. And not let Ellsworth get too much of a lead. Just a 1-point lead right now as J.C. Owens goes to the service line. Goodness, 2 service errors in a row. That's not good.
That makes it 16 to serve 14 here.
We've been lucky with points on the other end. Ellsworth hasn't scored a couple, or we'd be looking at a pretty good deficit. Allison to Allison. They get it over. Landon bumps it on over. Conley back sets it over. Now Allison from the outside. Kennedy Allison. What a hit. Right through the middle and drops point Minneapolis.
15 to serve 16 here.
Weedle with a nice pass from the back row. Now Kylie McKinney pounds one through the block of Conley. And Lake, who's in there. Cross court hit. Oh, Jadra Lott. She tried to save that. She slid right into that bleacher down there. I was thinking maybe she might have hit it harder than what she led on. Awesome try by Lott. To no avail. Now in the middle, Shea Allison with a big hit. Korolak digs it on the back row. Conley with attack from behind 10-foot line. Kylie McKinney, it's blocked by Ellsworth. McKinney again. Oh, right off the top of the head of Shannon Keith. And Minneapolis right back with the serve.
16 to serve 17.
We kind of expected a tight game, and that's what we're getting. They bump it on over as they scramble to find. That set is McKinney way on
over the line,
in the net and under. And she might have kept Ellsworth from coming over on our side. It was 3 players converged together on the stripe.
18 to serve 16.
Mitchell at the service line for Ellsworth. 5'1", but she is a player. Oh, that was a lift. Keith.
Little sneak attack there.
Tried to pound it through on the first hit, and it came right back to him. The other Ellsworth player, Westerman, tried to get under it. It was a lift. Mara Pounds at the service line. Connolly with a bump up to the front. Nice pass. That player went way over. J.C. Owens, it's out.
Sailed on her. Puts the Bearcats up 19-17.
Keith at the service line. Kind of an odd serve. That ball came across the net sideways. Oh,
thank you.
Keith tried for that one, but she likes the effort. That coach, Amy Johnson, likes the effort.
18 to serve 19 here.
She didn't get it, but it was close. Kylie McKinney with a pouncer right across the top of the net. Now she's able to dig on the backside. Mara Pounds bumps it on over. Big swing in the middle, and we're right there playing very good defense on the back row. Jadra Lott with a big hit. That's Mara Pounds gets a hand on it, but Kylie McKinney tried for the save, but could not get there. Point Ellsworth. Landon serving.
20 to serve 18. The Bearcats up in this first game of the match. We'll take a quick break here and be right back. Dale Leach and Mike Perry on Eagle Communications Channel 20 at SalinaPost.com.
For over 100 years, Robertson Monuments has created everlasting memories for families to share the lives of their loved ones with future generations. Supporting the Lions all the way, Robertson Monuments.
See American Family Insurance agent Scott Osherman for all of your insurance coverage under one roof. The Scott Osherman Agency in Minneapolis, proudly supporting the Lions.
Whether you're building a new house or a birdhouse, Ottawa County Lumber and Supply will have the tools and materials you need for your next project. Ottawa County Lumber, cheering for the Lions.
Tonight's game brought to you by City Pharmacy in Minneapolis, now delivering to our neighboring communities. Call us to find out when we can come to you. City Pharmacy for your family. Go
Crunch time, Dale.
Yep, 20 to serve 18 here.
Landon's serve is over in good shape. Weedle now with a nice set. Jadra Lott pounds it to the back row. Mitchell there with the dig, and our pass goes out of bounds. Landon still at the service line. Not a good pass from our back row, and evident that Ellsworth with the point. Now J.C. Owens with a nice swing, and they're able to bring that one off the ceiling of the gym. Nice hit. Another good one. Owens. J.C.'s getting set just about where she needs to in the middle, and that last one she hit with authority, and it's point side out to Minneapolis.
19 serving 21.
Perfect time for that side out. They were starting to grab a little momentum. Up two, now Owens again in the middle. There's another one. And Coach Amy Johnson's going to sub. See if he can slow down this Minneapolis attack as Weedle goes to the service line. We're just behind one now. Oh!
Bearcats go back up 22 to 20. Our third service error of this game.
I won't mention it because you just did, but that's a killer. 22-20. Korlek. Serve. McKinney with a nice dig on the back row. Bump set. And a big hit by Allison. They are able to dig it out of the back row. Into the net it goes. Taylor Rodriguez with a big attack at the net. It goes in the net. Point Minneapolis.
21 serving 22. J.C. Owens with the serve.
And a nice one it is. Landon bumps it up to Korlek. Uh-oh. Boy, we got in front of Landon that time. That was 4.
Coach McCulloch is wondering about that.
Well, the two girls were so close together, both of them hit it. And I think the referee's right. Did I say that?
Yes. Bearcats are up 23-21 here in this first game of the match.
That was a big point right there. Back set. Lock. Pounds one through. They're scrambling. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shay Allison sneaks it over the net.
It was an overpass by Conley. It came right over the net. Shay Allison right there pounds it down on Ellsworth's side. Minneapolis with a big point right there. And Ellsworth calls a quick timeout. We'll take one, too. Minneapolis trailing by 1.
22-23 with the serve coming up.
Lions.
Stop into Jeans IGA and experience shopping with a promise of neighborly service from people you know and trust. Jeans IGA, your hometown grocery store supporting your hometown Lions.
For 100 years, the Schooler Company has been the expert in marketing your agricultural products. Call and find out how Schooler can help you manage risk and maximize rewards. And go Lions.
The serve.
Conley
Pounds it down.
Boy, they got her set right where they wanted her. She goes to the back row. Why not take advantage of her while she's there? And now Coach McCulloch with a timeout. 24-22, Ellsworth with a 2-point lead and a 1-minute timeout. We'll take one, too, here at SubState in the Lions Den here in Minneapolis.
Game point coming up.
Headquarters for trailers including stop trailers, fifth wheel, flatbed, dump trailers, and tilt trailers. Also pickup beds, flatbeds, bale beds installed and serviced, plus they will go outside the box to customize exactly what you need. Joe's Fabricating, Hillsboro, proudly supports Minneapolis Lions.
Here we go, Conley. Serve is over in good shape. Mara with a nice dig. And we're going to bump it on over. Now on the Ellsworth on the attack. We got a good block at the net. Now let's get a good setup right here. Uh-oh.
Ellsworth takes the first one, 25-22.
Boy, that overpass just killed us. I thought if it had been a little shorter, McKinney could have laid the hammer to it. But that's the way that one ends. Ellsworth victorious there, 25-22. And while we got a minute.
Yes, you go right ahead.
As I mentioned, made a little trip down to Southeastern to the cross-country meet. 300 runners, over 300 boys, 300 girls. Kendall ran under 23 minutes.
300 of each?
Yeah. Wow. It's a big one. And it's a fast track. This is like running on a golf course, but it's buffalo grass, it's beat down, and it's a fast track. One little hill, and the rest of it's flat. Anyway, this story leads to one of our runners here, Garrett Doherty. I've seen him run 3 times this year, and this one, it was just one of the most awesomest races I've ever seen him run. He's in the top 25 out of 300, and if you've ever seen him run, he's got just a standard gait all the time, just a consistent runner all the way through. Well, he just finished about 5 miles, had about 300, 400 meters to go, and I was right beside him because I stand on the curb by the road. And he knew I was there, and I yelled at him a couple times and tried to encourage him. I said, Garrett, just an easy 300 from here. Push it. And, you know, when you try and push a runner that's already ran 5 miles and it's given quite a bit. So he gave me that normal, you know. And you could actually hear him, you know, exhale like that, you know, just saying, I've already ran 5 miles, Mike, real fast. But from that point on, I watched him, and he picked it up 2 notches, and I've never seen anyone finish 300 meters out like he did. He passed 3 guys on the way in. You're passing guys that are excellent runners. And, I mean, it was just awesome to see him run with that kind of strength. I've seen him run in speed and kick out a pretty good kick coming in. Nothing like what I saw today. I was just thoroughly impressed.
Cool.
Garrett Doherty with a big run down at
Where did he
Southeastern.
finish?
He was probably about 17th, 18th, somewhere out of 300 now.
Yeah, pretty darn good.
It's a big race, and I was real impressed.
He's a junior this year, right?
Yes. Well,
there's the first serve.
Second game. You cross-country freaks like me, you'd probably know what I'm talking about. I was just really impressed. Goosebumps everywhere to see him go around that last curve and just really get after it coming to the finish line. It was, and I didn't see Tanya there, so, but big run for Garrett down at Eastern. I keep wanting to say Southwestern, but it is Southwestern.
In Winfield?
Yeah, Winfield.
Yeah,
Southwestern.
Tied up at 1 here. Bearcats to serve.
Okay, back to volleyball. Ellsworth with the service here. Korlek at service line. Oh, McKinney got there, but then
she slipped.
He did slip. I don't think that felt very good.
No. We've said this before, but I'll say it again. Garrett's also the one that is known as the famous free throw shooter that knocked off in overtime undefeated Atchison County.
Yeah.
3A state semifinals. Service error for Ellsworth. Ties the score at 2.
That free throw counted, though, didn't it, Dale?
Yes, it did. as pretty as it wasn't, he counted.
It counted, and yeah, that was a wonderful evening. And you're right, they were undefeated. Conley. That coach, Amy Johnson, has got these Lady Bearcats playing rather well. But I tell you, when they take advantage of Conley in the middle, they can be really tough to handle. And
3 to serve 2.
Now the setup in the middle. Conley again. It's in. When you can elevate, you're up that high anyway. You can hit down to the floor. It makes that angle to the outside out-of-bounds line. They just seem to be able to dump it right in there.
Once the ball is retrieved from the well down there.
The depth.
4 to serve 2, Ellsworth.
Nice pass from the back. Sydney Weedle. The outside attack by Shea Weedle goes to Shea Allison, goes in the net.
Conley with the block.
And Coach McCulloch wants to talk about this. It's gone the other way here pretty quick as Ellsworth jumps out to a 3-point lead. 5-2 Ellsworth, and we'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis offers hometown banking with commitment, experience, and quality service. Proud sponsors of area school activities.
B&K Prescription Shop has been serving the Salina area, including Central Kansas and North Central Kansas, since 1953. Providing patients of all ages the prescriptions that they need to feel better. B&K Prescription Shop.
Ellsworth, a nice community over there. I don't know if you've been over there lately. We've been there a time or two through the past 6, 8, 10 years. They've spruced up the place. It's rather nice. Oh, yeah.
Thought we had another block for Conley, but it drops down in front of her.
Nice community over there. Not as nice as Minneapolis, of course.
Not
but
near as nice.
Yep.
3 to serve 5.
And we knock it right through the block. Point Minneapolis. I hope that stays in. Gager Lott serve a little strong. Is going out the back row, back line. And Ellsworth girls stuck out the old arm and helped us out there.
4 to serve 5.
There's a nice serve. Landon digs it up. Conley with the set from the back row. Jump set. We just tip it over. Now Conley with a chance. And we rescue that. That's a wonderful effort there by the ladies up front. Conley isn't going to give them a chance this time.
She's a one-person wrecking machine, didn't she?
Yep. She wasn't going to give us another chance there. Now she goes to the back row.
6 to serve 4.
To serve. That would have maybe made it out past the out-of-bounds line. Nice attack by Kylie McKinney. That's a lift by Korlek. Side out point to Minneapolis. We're right there at that same place where we were last game. Dale just 1 point behind all the way through it. That one's off the blue beam. We rescue it. Now Conley with the bump set. From the outside, Keith. Pounds one through the block. They do have another attacker. Now Conley hits it over from the back row as they save it out of bounds. Shea Allison with a good attack. Now Ellsworth again. It's out.
Ties it up at 6 for the Lady Lions. Kennedy Allison to serve.
Allison's serve is over in good shape. A little top spin on that ball. Now from the outside, that's a good attack. That's number 19, Westerman. She is a freshman, Dale. I will have to deal with her for 4 years. I don't remember her earlier. She must be playing better as she's gone through the season. Move into that starting grid. McKinney with a big hit from the outside. Good dig on the back row, but it goes out of bounds.
7-all. Mara Pounds with the serve for Minneapolis.
Nice serve by Mara. Another point, Minneapolis.
The hit goes into the net.
Yeah, that's right there, just in case it came over.
8 serving 7. Our first lead of this game.
Had one briefly in the other one. There's Westerman again. It's blocked at the net. Goes out of bounds. Side out and point to Ellsworth, Lady Cats.
8-all. Ellsworth with the serve.
Keith at the service line for Ellsworth. Nice dig. An overpass. Weedle lucky to get another hand on it as they blocked it the first time. Rodriguez tips it over. Allison's set. And the pass by Mitchell goes into the second row. And Coach Amy Johnson doesn't like that. She's got another girl that can play back there too. So Mitchell comes out.
9 to serve 8.
Jessica Lake goes in. Now from the outside, Rodriguez. We're able to handle that attack. Now Jadra Lott. Tape shot. Conley. Westerman banks it on over. Excuse me, that's Keith. That's out.
Ties it at 9.
Landon to the service line. This is where we have to watch it. Landon's back there serving. Conley's on the front row now. McKinney backing up, tried to pass it up to Weedle, but it goes out of bounds. Not a good pass.
Bearcats take the 10-9 lead.
Landon, another good serve. Allison with a nice bump. Now Jadra Lott, it doesn't get over.
Conley with the block.
He was right there. The referee said it didn't make it over in 3. And it's point Ellsworth.
11 serving 9.
J.C. Owens, we've had good luck with her attacking in the middle, and there we are, right. Another point for J.C. Owens. Side out to Minneapolis. You say it was about halftime with K-State, Dale?
It was when I came. 10 to 11, 10 serving 11.
Conley, it's blocked by Owens. Now we stuff Conley, and they bump it on over. Now on the backside, Allison. Uh-oh.
Set up Conley in the middle. She nailed her down.
Boy, they're a smart team, and they get a nice setup. That setter knows where to put it. Conley can get there. They're going to have to get in front of her.
12 to serve 10.
At least 2 people start blocking her. Mara Pounds with a good dig on the back row. Now Conley again.
She's taking care of business, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
13 to serve 10.
They're going to have to get somebody in front of her. She's in the middle right now, and that's where that set's going every time. at the service line for Ellsworth. Nice serve. Nice dig by McKinney. Now Jadra Lott with a big hit. Conley not set up real well, just tipped it on over with the left hand. She did block Lott from the outside. Now Allison bangs it right through the block of Rodriguez and Conley. Point and side out to Minneapolis. J.C. Owens at the service line.
11 to serve 13.
Get her usual point here and be back within 1 point. Conley, not
that way. Nope. Conley bangs it down.
Mercy.
They're up 3, 14 to 11.
She's pretty effective when she gets set in the middle like that. Now number 3, Macy Rohr, senior. She's serving. Mara with a nice dig. Oh, what a left-hand shot by Jadra Lott.
12 to serve 14. Lott serving.
Nice attack by Ellsworth, and the ball goes in between our back row. That usually does not happen, especially with Jadra Lott and Mara Pounds there. I think Jadra was the defender clear at the back, but don't know.
15 to serve 12.
Conley. Not a good set.
And all of a sudden our wheels are falling off.
Yep.
16 to serve 12.
We have got to get back into sequence. We're just not. There's a pass goes clear into the way over there.
And we have timeout, Minneapolis.
Good timeout taken by Coach McCulloch. We're out of sorts defensively, especially. We're just not together, and Minneapolis finds himself behind by 5. We'll be right back after this quick 1-minute timeout.
Eagle Communications, home of ECTV, high-speed internet, 910 KINA, and 99 KG Country, is a proud sponsor of tonight's hometown coverage of Lions Sports. Listen to the Lions Sports on SalinaPost.com.
At Lambert Insurance, Kent Lambert can make shopping for insurance easy. With insurance plans changing all the time and costs increasing constantly, getting coverage you need at affordable rates can be a challenge. Let Lambert Insurance in Minneapolis help.
Here we go.
Conley still serving for Ellsworth. They find themselves ahead here in command of this game right here, and Minneapolis finds himself, just what we needed. Big point from the outside, Kylie McKinney. As I mentioned, timely points, and there's one right there. Minneapolis scores with McKinney. Now Allison at the free throw line.
13
to
serve 17.
Ready for basketball or what? Not a good set there by Lake, but they get it over. Nice attack by McKinney. That time it goes out of bounds. Point and side out to Ellsworth.
18 to serve 13.
Mitchell at the service line. Over in good shape. Our pass takes our setter to the back row, so still not passing well from the back row to the front. Now we've got a good setup here. Jay Allison, Landon sticks her hand out and hits that one. It goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis.
14 to serve 18.
Mar Pounds serving for Minneapolis. Over in good shape. Conley with the pass to the front. Now from the outside, that's that freshman.
Pounds and Lott tied up again. Communication error, one of the two.
Both of them went out at that time, and I think they had quite a collision.
19 to serve 14.
In the rotation, I don't know who's supposed to take it, and I'd be wrong if I mentioned one should take it over the other. I'm telling you, J.C. Owens has been right on today. She has played well. Her kills percentage is pretty good.
15 to serve 19.
We
McKinney
need a couple right
with the
here.
line from Minneapolis.
We need 2 or 3 right here. Down the outside, Rodriguez. Tape shot, saved by Owens. Now Jade Roulotte pounds one through. Oh, what a deal there. Now Owens, overpass came over. JC had a big swing on it, but Ellsworth is able to recover. Not a good set there by Ellsworth, but they maintain presence to get it over. Now JC Owens again. Now was it touch? No. Tape shot by Owens, falls on Ellsworth's side, but out of bounds. I thought maybe it might have been partially blocked. The referee said no, and we play on. Ellsworth now with the serve.
20 serving 15.
Jade Roulotte from the outside. There's a nice one. And we ended up about 7 rows up. Went off the shoulder of the Ellsworth Lady Cat defender. We're still in this thing. We can get a couple here.
16 serving 20.
Sydney Weedle serving from Minneapolis. Conley had to really come after that one. I think it was 2 hits. That's called a lift.
Lift called on Owens. 21 serving 16 now for Ellsworth.
Korolek, 5'3" senior, at the service line. Minneapolis on the attack. Allison with a big swing. Now Rodriguez just bumps it over. McKinney, there's a good setup right here. Out. Kennedy Allison set perfectly over on the far side, tried the cross-court winner, and it was just a little bit out of bounds.
22 serving 16.
Korolek has been serving quite well. Shea Allison, no. Is that JC or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gets it in
I thought
inside the back
long.
line there.
Beautiful shot. JC Owens.
17 serving 22.
Her kill percentage is coming up. I mean, she's been very effective. Uh-oh.
Just inside the line. Conley knocks it
Haley
down.
Conley. She
20,
gets set.
17.
She's on the front row. They could take care of business right here. She's there, and we're going to have to get in front of her and block her. 2 people ought to be shadowing her every time.
Lots still goes into the net. And it's match point.
Jade Roulotte with the back row attack goes in the net. And as Dale mentioned, we're down to our last point. Ellsworth just needs 1 to win the match. Mara Pounds bumps it over. Conley's going to get it right here in the middle. Didn't you knew that was coming, but what a block. We finally get in front of her and get a hand on it. Overpass will go down.
And the Lady Bearcats win it. 25-17 in the second game and 25-22 in the first. The Lady Lions had the 3-point lead in the first game. Ellsworth called a timely timeout and clawed back in it, took the lead, and Minneapolis was up just slightly at one point in this game. But Ellsworth showed why they're the number 3 seed here, Mike.
Yes, I see vast improvement in Ellsworth team. They've learned how to use Conley, and they use her quite well. And she is very effective when she's set there in the middle, and she can pound them down with the best of them. Very good. A lot better team than I've seen earlier in the year. Ellsworth, very good. Minneapolis, I don't think played up to their potential. Didn't serve real well at times, and we've always had, seemed like a little trouble with our passes from the back row, and a few of them today went astray, but for the most part, I saw a lot of improvement in Minneapolis as the season went along.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And this next match, I think, I really think when Rock Creek and Marysville get to the very end, we'll see pretty good volleyball.
So you're predicting a Rock Creek win over Sacred Heart? Okay. Two more public service announcements, folks.
At least I can hope, Dale. And hate to see Rose Whitman whine for 2 more matches.
The Kansas State High School Activity Association volleyball and cross-country seasons will culminate on November 1 and 2 when champions are crowned. Don't miss this opportunity to attend high school volleyball's and cross-country's finest moments. Plan to attend this year's championships and to support your team on November 1 and 2nd. For more information, call the Kansas State High School Activity Association. And the last one, the thrill of a touchdown, the excitement of successful pass, all come to remind us the state football championship games are only moments away. Sponsored by the Kansas State High School Activity Association, state championship playoffs will begin November 5th and conclude with the final games on November 30th. Attend the games, support your team, and join the crowd during the final weeks of Kansas State High School football beginning November 5th. For more information, call the Kansas State High School Activity Association at 785-273-5329 or go to their website. Well, we hope you enjoyed this game on Eagle Communications Channel 20 and SalinaPost.com. This is going to conclude our broadcast for volleyball for this year, and we'll have one more football game next Thursday at Beloit before we come back for the junior high invitational basketball tournament and also the Footloose musical put on November 15th and 16th.
I'm kind of looking forward to that.
And then we'll get down to business with high school basketball in early December.
The hardwoods.
Yeah.
I brought you popcorn, Dale, as a snack. It's just,
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Well,
if you work up an appetite here.
I was hoping maybe we were going to have time to do that between games, but this is our last game.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, thanks as always for having us in your home and supporting the Lions. With that, Dale Leach and
Mike Perry
going to sign off. Good evening, folks.